Welcome to Insight Builder channel. Solopreneur's secret weapon. Building your company with Agentic IDE. 10 steps to build your own website. This is a part 2 of multi-part series that I have been creating on Solopreneur's journey. The question is, why a website? In the part 1 of the video, I had discussed on the benefits of having a website. The website is ubiquitous these days. It showcases your products and the service that you might be offering, provides the credibility and trust that you want your customers to have on you, generates leads and sales based on your customers' liking of your product and their challenge that they are facing, provides information and support on your product, enhances visibility and reach. It acts as a marketing and a sales tool. So there are lots of benefits. Building your own website provides a lot of credibility on your capability. That is one of the reasons why, as a solopreneur, building your website yourself makes a lot of sense. First of all, you will learn a lot of technology. Second, the customer who is going to approach you for any technical or even product kind of a service, if he knows and if he understands that you have invested yourself to develop your own website, then he will know that you will provide one of the best services out there. Another thing is, when you are going to build your own website, you have myriads of options right now. So there are a lot of no-code and low-code website development platforms. The thing is, when you develop something from bottom up and learn everything that is happening at the back end of the development process, then it becomes way more easier for you to automate the next steps of the process. So you will see that we will be building a SaaS website with Cursor, but we will be building it step by step. Well, who I believe you are. You can be two different background. You might be from a non-tech background. You could be a student, a self-employed freelancer, or a manager or a business owner. Or you could be from tech background, senior or junior developer, or a manager, leader level developer who is trying to see how is the ecosystem shifting in the Agentic IDEs area. If you are from non-tech background, I would suggest you to continue watching this as it is. But if you are from tech background, senior or junior dev, I would like you to skip to the forward places where I discuss about Cursor IDE and how I develop a simple website. There you will understand the nitty-gritty details in a short and sweet fashion. Fine. Let us now move to the Agentic IDEs and creating the website. Well, to create a website is not an easy task, but Agentic IDEs can make it really easy. The problem is, we have to create a website that is going to improve visibility and provide credibility and bring customers to us. In order to do that, we need to go through this 10 steps. And you will realize that I have actually given 11 steps with this 0. Yeah, it can be skipped. Right? You don't need to know how the customers reaches your website. It's actually not a prerequisite. But yeah, if you are from non-tech background, it's better that you understand and move from there. The thing is, if you are from non-tech background, if you have never touched coding till now, even then you will be able to gain some knowledge from this video. The point I want to make here is, you can hire anyone proficient with computers and technology to build the site, the website with Agentic IDE right in front of you. Yep, they can do the entire process right in front of you and bring that website to life and show it to you. And you can see how it is built as I told. So just to give you an example, this is a website that I have built, and this was completely done top to bottom using Cursor. So it's a simple task manager website, but with the landing page. It starts with the landing page. It explains what is the task manager does, why to choose this task manager, how it works. It has some additional features, and once you are at the bottom, it says, okay, get ready to sign in, and it actually gives you the sign in page where the customer can give their email ID and they can sign in. Once the customer has signed in, they can do the login process. They can sign in to the task manager and they can create such tasks. So the task could be to test the task manager. That would be the first task. So the user adds it, it becomes one of the tasks, the user can edit it, and as you can see here, the user can do a lot of things, right? And if once he logs out, the user is able to see the landing page again. This is a very simple website that we are going to build, but not just that. We will dive really deep into the integrity details of how the website is built, what are the parts required, and how to manage the complexity. All these things we will, go through this in this 10 steps. But in this video, what we are going to do is we have to realize one important thing. Each of the 10 steps below solves a problem. You need to tell this problem to cursor or any of the agentic IDEs and see the output from the cursor. Next, once you're satisfied, you can go to the next step. Like once you start with, say, how to learn HTMX on the project, you complete this step. If you're satisfied with your output, if you are comfortable with the entire HTMX project understanding, then you can go to the next step. If not, then you have to go back to cursor and ask it to give you more elaborate data. So this loop is what you are going to follow. And there are 10 steps, right? As I already told you, you can get one of the developers to develop it in front of you. You might be wondering, what is the benefit of me learning it with the developer? The point I wanted to make here is, once I show you how the Agentic IDE works, you might actually realize that with little more investment of your time and understanding how the coding works as a whole, you will be able to do a lot of things by yourself, not just building a website. After this, building a website, we will be looking into variety of applications like creating your own invoice backend, database to manage your sales, and work with varieties of different APIs to get the things done for you. All of these things are possible once you understand the basic way of navigating the Agentic IDE with your prompts, as well as by understanding how to code. There are lots of benefits, as I am right now telling. Let us actually scroll down a bit. Now you have decided that, okay, let us at least understand how the customer reaches my website. It always starts with the customer. So it starts with the customer facing a challenge. Think about, how did you reach this video? You are browsing, you are searching for something, and which was related to Agentic IDE, or it could be related to coding. It could be related to the challenge that you're facing. And Google, the search engine which you are searching, or it could be the ChatGPT that you are asking questions, could have decided that the website among the video, or the website among all the other videos on website, was matching to solve your problem. This is done using lots of algorithms that you don't need to be worried. So the search engine or the chatbot decided that, okay, this web page or the video is a good match for your problem. It gives the search results back to you. The customer then clicks on that link. He looks at the page, scrolls through the page, and then finally executes the call to action. Like, he looks at the page, scrolls through and reads the page, and finally executes the call to action. This is the entire process. One of the main thing you need to remember is that this entire process is done by lots of customers. Okay. And this entire process is going to hit the internet, which is actually a database of websites. It's not much different from a simple file cabinet that is there in your office or under your desk. It has a lot of websites, and these lot of websites have a lot of files under them. It is a very simple setup. It's actually complex, and it has become very huge, because a lot of technology and additional features have been added on top of this. That's why it is fast today, but at the same time it's very complex also. It actually has changed how we do business. Since it has given such a tremendous change, it has also become additionally complex. But removing all those complexity, you will see that finally internet is just a database of websites. That's what I want you to keep it in your mind. Why I'm telling this is because what we are going to do next. We are not going to follow the 10 steps that I told to you above. In this video, what we are going to do is we are going to dive into a smaller 3-step process. This is where your action comes in. What you need to do? You need to do this. You need to get cursor on your laptop. You can actually have cursor, you can have windsurf, you can have aider. I'm just naming this cursor here because it is one of the tools that I'm going to use. But you can have other agentic IDEs also. You need to install Python on your laptop. It's important. Why you need to install Python? Because cursor can bring the extension for Python, but it will not be able to install Python for you. So you have to install it by yourself. In case of whether you're using Windows or Linux or Mac OS, the process to install Python is pretty simple. You have to go to the internet, ask for Python download. You will land on this page. So you see how is the search working. So I had a problem. I went and asked the Google search in this location in the URL, and it gave me the first page. So it gave me a first page as the Python because this word Python was matching with this word Python that was already there. I click on that. You will see that there is a download icon. You can also see that there are other operating systems that I can use for. So depending on your operating system, select that operating system. You will be given the varieties of releases. So you can just click on the latest release, and then you can go ahead and follow the steps provided. The most easiest process is you can go to the start page. You can go to the start page and you can just click on download Python. This particular Python download link will be configured in such a way that it will match your operating system. If you look at the when I hover on this link or on this button, you can see there is a link that is getting populated here. So can you see that? And in that link, you can also see that it is written as Python -3.13.1.tar.hc. It is showing this because I am in Linux. If you are in Windows, it will be showing 3.13.1.exe. If you are in Mac, it will show DMG. So these kinds of differences are automatically taken care by the website. So these are the things that helps a lot to understand these small things. And once you understand these small things, right, you will start appreciating the technology. Well, now you will download Python and you will complete the installation. Okay, and if not, there are tremendous number of resources out there which tells you how to install. So take one of those videos and go through that process. After you have completed the installation, you will be able to do this. If you come to your command prompt, you need to open your command prompt. If you go into start program, if you ask for terminal, in case of Windows, if you type cmd, you will be able to get the terminal like this. There, if you type Python -m --version, you will see the Python version that is installed. In my case, it is 3.10.12. I use an older version of Python to maintain stability. You can use the earlier version, latest version also, should not be a problem. The next thing that you will have to do is you need to get cursor. In order to get cursor, the process is same. So you go and ask for cursor IDE. That is going to show you a list of pages. You can see that here, and you can click on the first link, which is going to take you to again the download area. You can see that initially it was showing Mac and then it changed to download for Linux. So the website will by itself detect what is operating system and it will be able to give you the right download option. So if you click on download for Linux and it will start the download process, which I have already done, so you don't need to do that. In case of Windows, again it will start a download process. You need to execute that executable and install it. Installation process is pretty straightforward. Let us go back. So we have got the cursor, we have got Python installed. Now we are off to building the landing page with HTMX and Flask. Yep, you heard me right. We are going to build this landing page. This landing page, you see, this is what we are going to build. And if you're thinking, what is a landing page? Why are you building this? And what is the benefit of doing it with Agentic IDE? All these things you will get answered by the end of next 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, this landing page is going to take less than 10 minutes to build, and it is going to be built completely by Cursor IDE. In my case, I have Cursor IDE as an app image, so I'm going to call that right now, and I am going to use the NoHub way so that this terminal is not blocked. I'm going to call this, and it's going to open the GUI in a second. So you can see when I use NoHub, the terminal is not blocked and all the logs of cursor is sent to the terminal. So the cursor page is opening, and after it opens up, you can do a couple of things. In my case, what I've done is I have created the folder or a repository where I have all the cursor projects, and this repository link will be shared with you guys, and in that I have already created a folder called simple HTMX Flask site. So I have created this folder. Why you need to create this? Because when you open cursor, you need to go to file. So when it opens for you, it will actually go through a separate process of onboarding. It will go through the step-by-step process, and then it will come to this place. So you will be in a place where it is like this. So you'll have an open folder and open it with SSH, and rest of the things will be plain blank. In that case, you have to just click on open folder, and then you have to go to the cursor projects and click on the folder that you created and click on open. That is going to open the project folder into Cursor IDE. So you can see the folder name here in this area. Right now, we are going to use the shortcut key Ctrl L. So the moment I pressed Ctrl L, you can see the new window opened here. This frame or window is where we are going to chat or provide the prompt to the LLM. You can see, I am sure it can be zoomed in a bit. Just give me a second. Okay, so this is the map. Yeah, you can see in this area, just a minute. You can see in this area that I am able to get the model name. So there are different models that you can work with. By default, Claude Sonnet is selected. You can select other models also. I am going to work with Claude Sonnet for this discussion. First thing that I'm going to ask to Claude is that build me a HTMX Flask based website with the landing page for a task manager project, task manager product, which has the features of adding task, modifying priorities, and updating the target dates for each task. This is a very simple 3-feature product that I am going to create, that I am going to showcase in my landing page, and I am telling that I want a HTMX Flask based website. So I'm not telling it's Python or whatever it is, because Agentic IDEs like Cursor know that these HTMX, Flask are packages and they belong to certain categories of programming languages. So you don't need to really tell that you want a Python code as such, it will be able to figure it out. Once I create this prompt, once you're satisfied that all the details are there, you can just press enter. The moment you press enter, you can actually do this in Composer also. Composer has the ability to create the files by itself. In case of the chat interface, the data will be created, but the files you have to create one by one. I would suggest that you have to initially learn to do this manually. So you have to create the files one by one, and you can see that the code is getting generated as of now. As I am talking to you, the code is getting generated. And you can see that each of the file is also getting updated. So in fact, Cursor itself is kind of a website. So I will dive into that in detail after some time. Even Cursor is built on top of Electron, which is a JavaScript based package. So you can see that the details are already filled up, and here it shows that how the entire project structure is. So it's saying that there should be a folder, top folder called as Task Manager, and below that there should be these three folders: static, templates, and the remaining two files on the root itself. So let's first create the app.py. So first create the entire list of things on the list here, right? So we have created that file. We will create the static folder. We will create the templates folder. You don't need to understand what these folders are doing. Just follow what the ensure that you are maintaining the same spelling and maintaining the same pattern which the IDE shows you. That's very important, crucial. Next, we have to create requirements.txt. You can see that the right click also works. Requirements.txt. I will tell you how this will work in a moment. Next, inside the static file, so you click on the static folder and right click on it, and you will get the new file where you can say styles.css, and right click on the templates and you can click on new file. It will say base.html. Again, click on HTML, new file, index.html. We have created all the files right now. Next, we have to start with the requirements, meaning now we are going to fill these files. If you look at this output of these files, it will all be empty. So there is nothing here. But if you come here and if you look here, there is something called as apply on your ID, on your UI. So if you click apply, it will show you. It will ask you where to apply. So you can click on the file name that it shows. So we have to apply this into requirements.txt. The moment you do that, it will start the process and it will update it here, right? And then you have to click on the Ctrl accept. Look at this here. There is a red box and there is a green box. The red box tells that this area will be removed or this line will be removed, and green box states that this line will be added to this file. So let's accept, and this lines got added. Next, we are going to work on the main Flask application. I'm not even diving into how this application is actually, working. So that's not our intention right now. We are just going to make the application to run and then see how it works. So let us click on apply, and I'm going to click on app.py. So it's going to update on the app.py file. So you can see that it updated here. So the green means it is going to stay, red means it is going to be deleted. So keep that in mind. So next, once the app is, and also you can click on file and you can enable autosave. So if you click on autosave here, by default, whenever you are completing this copy paste process or the apply process, the file will get saved. Once you apply the files, you can actually close it like this. So you don't need to keep it open. In that way, it will be easier for you to manage. Then we have base.html. You can see that there is a base.html here. So I'm going to apply that. It also shows the path. Here it's saying templates base.html. You can see that under templates I have base.html, correct? I'm going to click that and it's going to update it here. You can see that whatever is provided here, it's get updated, and I'm going to say Ctrl accept. Next is the main index. You can click on the index.html, which is already opened here. I'm going to apply, click index, and it's going to apply it here. As you can see that you don't really need to know what's actually going on as of now. So I'm insisting this because the entire coding process is taken care by the IDE. Only thing is you need to look at the output. Correct? You have asked something to the coding, you have asked something to the IDE. Now you are going to wait for it to update it using the files and then look at the output. Here you see it is updating the task underscore list.html. But if you go up, you will see that it has it given any task HTML? Actually, no, it has not given, right? But as we scroll down here, there is a change. So we see there is a task HTML, and if you click on apply, it's actually telling that you can apply it under task list.html, right? So what we will do is we will have to create this task list. So create task list.html. So there are cases where the cursor IDE might not give you the complete correct output also. So you have to understand these things with intuition. As you saw immediately here, even when I am giving the demo, there was a miss. So the task underscore list.html was required, but it was not told to us ahead of time. And even then, there is another one challenge we are going to face, but I will solve it later. So let me apply, and I'm going to click on this. It's going to fill the task list.html. Understanding this apply process, understanding where it is getting updated and how it is getting updated is one of the important challenges that most of you guys who are not, even if you are from tech background, you might not have experienced this kind of an update then and there, because diff, the update how it is being done is something called as diff update, meaning it looks at the file before and after the update and it gives the diff of the files. Take a look at the internet for what is the meaning of diff. You will understand it much better. The task list is done, and then we have to click on the styles.css. We have to apply that under static styles.css, and I'm going to accept that. So we are ready. That's it. One of the easiest part of all this is that we did not spend a lot of time in actually typing the code. And after this, it is giving me a set of instructions. Okay. And one instruction it doesn't talk to us about here is creating the virtual environment. Okay. Which I want you guys to follow. In order to open the terminal, you have to click on view and you have to ask for command palette, or you can actually go to terminal and you can say new terminal. You can see there is a shortcut key here, Ctrl Shift and tilde or tick. So you can use that to open the terminal, which I am using it right now, right? And you can see the terminal has opened here. And if I do a ls right now, you will see that I have all this file listed here. Okay, now I am going to use this command python -m venv, meaning virtual environment. If this is not installed in your system, then you will have to follow the installation process that is present for your system and complete it. And I am going to use .venv as the virtual environment name. This is important. Why I am using .venv in case of Linux is that it will become a hidden folder. Second, that this .venv file can be used, it can be filtered when you are going to push it to the GitHub repo. So there is a process for that. So try to do a lookup on that in the internet, you will understand. Once the virtual environment is created, I can activate the virtual environment using the source.venv bin activate. This activate process will be different for your operating system. So for Mac it is same, but for Windows it will be different. So try to take a look at that process separately. Once you have done this, then you can actually use this command. So you can copy this, click on this, and if you come here and paste it, so just a second. So this is another one problem. When you are going to use the paste option from the from this location, if you click this, then it will copy the entire line. So you need to only work on the command, not the entire line. So once you do the pip install -r requirements.txt, it will start installing. This installation is happening inside this virtual environment, not on your main Python installation. Having a separate virtual environment is crucial to avoid any kind of conflicts. So it is done. After that, the procedure is simple. So you have to just execute python app.py. Python app.py. And once you execute this, you will see that the port is already in use because the this particular website that I am running is already working on this 5000 port. You can also end up in this same error. So there are two ways you can circumvent this. You can go ahead and close this server. The moment I close this server, meaning I do a Ctrl+C on the server, if you go up, you can see that this particular command is mentioned. If you use Ctrl+C, the server will stop. Or else you can actually change the port number also. But we have stopped the server. So let us come back here and let us do python app.py. In fact, you can tell to cursor that this particular error is occurring, and cursor will also be able to tell you what to do. Once I get the output, you can see that it is actually given me a task manager and it is getting ready to add the task. Well, we did not ask for a task manager app, right? We wanted a landing page, right? We wanted a landing page that is like this. But what we got was completely different. It gave us a task manager. In fact, this is not what we wanted. But to begin with, we know where we are. Right, we have created the website, we have the task manager, we have the output, we have the buttons here, and we have completed building our first landing page, even though it is not a perfect landing page that we wanted. Correct? That is the process we need to follow. So you give, and just take a moment and think about it. We did all of these things with what? We did all of these things with a simple line of prompt. This simple line of prompt. And all of these things, entire process was done with a little bit of support from me to build this entire page. Can you even believe it? Yeah, this page looks much more professional, right? It doesn't look like something that has been created by a person who doesn't know coding. The way it has been the layout, the pattern, the fonts that is chosen, the colors that is given, all these things shows professionalism. This is one of the important aspects that I really liked with these agentic IDEs, and that's the reason why I am insisting that understanding how this process works is very, very important. Now, we have actually started simple, and we have understood the three-step process of getting cursor, installing Python, and building your first landing page with HTMX and Flask. We also saw how the customer is going to reach your website with the help of the Google search as well as the database of internet. And then we learned that there is going to be a longer process for understanding how the website is going to be built, but you also understood that you can hire someone who is comfortable with the computers and he can build the website in front of you. In the next video, we will see how to convert this thing that we got here right now, which is actually not what we want, but we will change it in such a way that it can match our requirement by following this loop. So we will start with the problem, ask cursor to build for us. We'll look at the output. If we are satisfied, then we'll go to the next step, or else in our case it's a no. So we'll go back to cursor and we'll start asking it to modify. We reviewed that why we need to build a website and how important it is to have your own website. So I believe that this video and the subsequent videos will be much more interesting and helpful for you. So stay tuned for the next video. Subscribe to my channel for getting the updates on these videos. And till the next video,